every single great man, great individual, a person who was influential to history and our world and civilization, they all had flaws and vices, problems, and moral deviations, if you can even call it that. And I will now talk about some of them. And my goal with this is not to downplay the huge achievements and the greatness and influence of these great people, because these great men were greater than the common man. I am sure of that. But I want to testify to the idea that no human is flawless. We all have vices. Even the great have vices, have problems. And the common man is not that much different from the great man. We all have the same vices, kind of, but it is the virtues that makes the great men stand out. They are capable of exploiting and utilizing the virtues that they have cultivated and been gifted, and use them in the most effective and influential way, where the common man will drown away their skill and make it fade and wither, because they choose the bad habits and the trivial, irrelevant, useless, insignificant things over what could really be of value and benefit to the whole world. Now let us take Shakespeare for an example. He was obsessive with money and property and ownership and being wealthy. He did sue other people for small debts, and he was a miser in some way. And he bought up grain at low prices to sell them at high prices. Not there's anything wrong with that, but he was obsessive with money and status and influence, as he also bought a coat of arms ownership, or whatever it's called. He bought for his family the right to a coat of arms, and did also sue other people for trying to stop him in doing that. Another example is Napoleon, who was arrogant, had an immense giant ego, and was very ambitious, over-ambitious, which was, in some regards, what led to his success, but also led to his eventual downfall. He was also pretty good in lying. He regularly dealt in lies and lied to people. And then there is Goethe, who was a connoisseur, a heavy wine drinker, and he drank loads and loads of wine, but he did also say that it was this wine and alcoholism that cultivated his creativity and helped him, though that could also just be an excuse or something. And then we have Nietzsche, who suffered from a lot of illnesses, though I wouldn't say that is a flaw, but he had migraines, some problems with his gut, and also mental problems, and he was very isolated and lonely and had very few friends. And on his trip to Turin in Italy, he saw on the street a horse getting beaten, and when the horse laid down on the side after having been beaten severely, he ran over and wept and hugged the horse and said, "You must live," or something like that, to the horse. And in his trip to Italy was also where his mental health severely declined, and it was the final straw to be drawn out. Two more quick examples that I have is Martin Luther King, the famous human civil rights activist. He had extramarital affairs. He slept with other women outside of his marriage, and with many other women, like 3 or something, I think. And then we have Gandhi, who did some weird extreme experiments to prove or test his celibacy, his abstinence from sex, as he decided to sleep naked in the same bed as his granddaughter or grandniece or something, which was also it was weird thing that he did that. And also in his younger years, while in South Africa as a lawyer, he did use racial slurs and derogatory terms and stuff on the black people. So yeah, that's just some examples. And again, they were great men. They did a lot of influential and powerful things. But every man has his flaws and weaknesses. And some of these things by some people won't be regarded or interpreted as a flaw or vice, but another testament to their success. But in the end, I am confident that every single human does have some flaws and vices, some problems, though some may be better at hiding them than others. But every person has some. Alright, that's it.